Hi, welcome back to my channel. And this is just a quick video to recommend a film I saw for the first time last night. It's been made available on Blu-Ray just recently in the UK. And I thought it was absolutely superb, one of the best films I've seen in the last 10 years. It's called El Mar La Mar. And this is what I would call an impressionistic documentary. It's about the Sonoran Desert. This is the piece of land that covers both Mexico and the US. And it's the route that many migrants use to cross from Mexico into the US. It's a huge desert. It's actually bigger in size than the United Kingdom. And many migrants do this long hike through this desert to try and get into the US. And it's a deadly place. You know, it's a desert, and there's snakes and there's all sorts of animals and poisonous plants and so on. And many people die in the process. And this is an impressionistic documentary of the place. It's a sort of avant-garde film. And what it does is it mixes up witness testimonies, people who've come across bodies in the desert, people who've helped out migrants. There's one, story about this woman. She was living in a house in the desert, and one night a man came to her door and said, "Please, can I come in? I'm cold." And she let him sit inside the doorway near the heater. There's another story about a young woman who was hiking with some friends, and they found a woman dead, just lying on the ground, a water bottle still in her hand, and how she waited for the border patrol to come and find this body. Another border patrolman talks about all the various dangers of the desert, and all the different bodies they'd found and terrible things that have happened. One guy even talks about this monster that the local Native Americans talk about and how he saw it, this sort of strange, huge giant with one arm longer than the other. And throughout, you get these impressionistic shots of the volcanic activity nearby, the wildlife, the flora and fauna, the decaying cars, and, people living in the outback there. There's one extraordinary sequence of a woman. She sort of digs a hole in the ground, goes into the water, and comes up the other side into a small cavern and makes music. So it's an impressionistic study of a time and a place, which is so potent in our modern society, in our modern politics and news, but looking at it more as a place, a location, and giving back its primacy in terms of nature and its sort of mysticism. It's an extraordinary film. It's very moving. It's very powerfully made, very beautifully made. And it ends with this gorgeous Hispanic poem over 16mm shots of a storm over the desert. It's quite something. Highly recommended.